It's been a pleasure to be here, and thanks so much for the opportunity to share our thoughts. And the topic that Becca gave to me, I said, wow, it's going to be very complicated. And I just shared a small thoughts we had during the week, and when I saw in the program reviewed, I'm giving about charity and not about Jesus, I said, wow, yeah, great. But anyway, I spoke with Elsa, and she already done the charity. Okay, let's keep doing. It's tricky to talk about someone many people deny, some people don't believe, other people do believe desperately, other people are okay with that. Just to go through, before we talking about Jesus, we needed to focus in what's Jesus' role in the Spiritism. And as we know, Spiritism is religion, philosophy, and science. Let's concentrate here in Spiritism as a religion. Allan Kardec said, if so, we'll tell you, is Spiritism a religion? Well, yes, absolutely. Gentlemen, if the philosophical sense, Spiritism is a religion, and for that we glorify, because it is the doctrine that underlies the brotherhood ties and communion with thoughts of a simple convention, but one more solid foundation, the same laws of matter. Then let's compare what Allan Kardec said with Chico Xavier said. If we take Jesus from Spiritism, turns it into comedy. If we take religion from Spiritism, it becomes a business. The doctrine is science, philosophy, and religion. If we take off religion, what it is? That's the question I like to ask you now. What do you think if we take out religion from the Spiritism? Further, in the next slide we see, I just don't want to, I want you to turn off the button you have in your mind about religion. Turn off everything you know about religion from your mind, without any judgment. Religion is a different way according to Kardec. But first though, let's see a very simple example given by Chico Xavier. If we take a religion of Spiritism, it's a body without heart. If we take science, it's a body without head. And if we take a philosophy, it's a body without members. It's a circle of life. Spiritism is a philosophy which has religious implications. As a religion, Spiritism is based on the spiritual survival. Spiritism, which has neither dogma, nor worship, nor hierarchies, is not a religion in the ordinary sense. That's why I want you now, turn on your religion button. Spiritism reunites men in a community of feelings and principles. It's a religion in the etymological sense, mean tie. Which ties? Now Kardec came to help me. Spiritism came to clarify the real importance of communion of thoughts. In other words, so I'm working finance, I like diagrams, I like these things, make it easier to understand. So, in other words, it's this. Thoughts, feelings, and actions. Thoughts, positive or negative from your mind. When you thought, first, you have a feeling which trigger emotional feelings in your body and then become an action. That's how it works. Now, we're going to talk about our master and say, okay, what's the importance of him in the middle of these three words which govern us? Allan Kardec, on the question 625, asked to the spirits, what is the most perfect example that God has offered us as a guide and model? I think it's the short answer in the Spiritism book. Jesus. Why? If someone deny him, if someone say no, he didn't exist or whatever, why? And I come up with some questions. Who is him? What he did to divide the history before and after him? If he was a simple person, if he was nobody, why the history divided before and after him? Forget about religion. Why he reincarnated among us? What's his role? Who is him? We can say he is a sun shining among everybody on the earth, on the universe. We can say he can be a doctor, also teacher, psychologist, consoler. So, which Jesus you want, he is going to be to you. It's up to you. Jesus lives in your heart, in your mind, and he will be whatever you want him to be. The division. We have the situation before Jesus. Why we have this break into the history? Because Jesus, before him, we have the law of Moses, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. We had a vengeance God, punishment. You go to hell, you're going to suffer. God is seeing you, God's going to kill you, God's going to do all these things. I'm not saying this is wrong if we go back to that time, because that's one of the tools Moses used to control that people, to reunite them. So, and then came Jesus saying the opposite what Moses was saying. God, as a merciful Father, love and hope. So see how everything is triggered. We need to control a rebellion. Let's put it like severe loss. When it's controlled, we're gonna use reason and wisdom and knowledge. After Jesus, Spiritism came to recover his merciful. Jesus, the pathway. It is always learn and serve daily with constant renewal for the infinite God, infinite good. Because the constructive work in every moment of life is the sublime journey of the soul on the path of knowledge and virtue, the experience and the rise. Our loved Emmanuel, he helped me a lot to prepare this presentation, because he was the one who spoke with him. And the coming of Christ was different, however. In his divine presence, we have the fountain of positive truth, the sun that shines. Something good he must be done. He divided the history. He didn't judge. What was his whole? For his time, he's, I would say, more advanced in terms of treating the neighbor, sharing his love, encourage everyone without interfering in the free will. Because our free will is limited. We do have the free will, but the free will is limited. It's limited according to our knowledge. Some decisions we have made in the past, maybe now you regret about it. Or if you don't regret, you say, oh, if I had the experience I have now, I will make a different decision. I will take a different way to do it. But at that time, when you have to have that action, is the best option. That's why our free will is limited according to our knowledge. It's a kind of awakening. Awakening for what? Awakening to see what was his role through the earth. Life per se is a divine group of experiences. Each separate lifetime offers the individual the benefit of acquiring new knowledge. The acquisition of religious values is the most important of all, because it entails the movement of the soul's decisive illumination towards God. So, the communion of thoughts entails the movement of the souls towards God. Let's replace the word religion to communion of thoughts. That's what we are doing here. It's a communion of thoughts. Sharing our experience, sharing our devices, learning with the other's mistakes. This is religion not in terms of being Protestant, Catholic, Islamic, Buddhist. It's a religion in terms of sharing thoughts, sharing ideas. Without prosperity, we are stagnant somehow. However, this is a temporary situation until the spirit awakes. This awakening commonly happens over the sting of pain, according to the wisest divine law of cause and effect. Law of cause and effect. Let's go back to my fourth slide when we said God was punishment. If you do this or do that, you're gonna suffer. And now we're talking about law of cause and effect. What's your actions? What you have done in order to progress? How you treat your neighbor, how you treat your employees, how you treat your colleagues, how you treat your family. All this is cause law and effect. What is our destiny? Everyone for sure will see God himself. That's the only sure I can give to you. We will see God. Don't ask me how long time it's gonna take. But we will see. Whichever religion you are, after all, The most important thing is practice love and not religion. You are here today because you love. I don't know how the efforts you have done to be here. Some people save money for months to be here. Someone rely on the benevolence of the other brothers who have to afford to bring you here. Someone took a bus, train, plane with severe turbulence. But you are here because you love. That's brought you here. It's not because Pekka is handsome, blue eyes, because you're going to have a great food. You came because you love. What was Jesus' religion? Forgiveness. Love God above everything and your neighbor as yourself. This last sentence, do your neighbor as you like it, do it yourself, it's not a lesson from Jesus, because you can see in the history, it's part of the Greeks, Persians, the Romans, the Chinese. But the role of Jesus is to live it. He was the only one able to live this. Nobody else was able to do it. And my question here today to you is, do you live it? What do we need to do to live it? What the pathway we need to work hard? How define the bridge between love and hate? Love and selfishness. Love and charity. What's the golden rule? Jesus taught and exemplified it, not with partial virtues, but in the fullness of his work, his self-denial and his love before all humankind. Love yourself. Love your neighbor is love yourself. Exactly. I think that's the most important picture. A beggar with a mirror in his face. So, it's you. Take the whole. You want to? As I said, it doesn't matter if what you're gonna say here. Jesus lives inside of you, and you need to decide which Jesus you want to awake. Jesus in other religions. The message of Jesus, as I understand it, said Gandhi. Before I read what Gandhi said, we have the presence of Jesus. If he was nobody, he is present in the Quran, he is present in the Hinduism, he has presence in Islam, he has presence in the Catholic Church, he has presence in many religions, but he was nobody for some certain people. Gandhi is not Christian, but he said one important thing about Jesus. It's contained. So, a reporter asked to Gandhi, the message of Jesus as I understand it, said Gandhi, is contained in the Sermon of the Mount, undetterable and taken as a rule. If then I had to face only the Sermon of the Mount, and in my own interpretation of it, I should not hesitate to say, oh yes, I am a Christian. Are you a Christian? And I want to present you what Gandhi said. And then we can think if he is right or wrong.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye, when men shall revile you, and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely, for my sake. Rejoice, and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost his savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Have you to live with Jesus' teachings? If we hope in Christ only in this life, we are the most miserable of all men. It is indispensable to uncover the greatness of the concept life, without mistaking it as being just a life. To live does not mean going from cradle to grave with stopover in adolescence, adulthood, and old age. No, it means participating in God's creation through our sentiments and mind. It means being someone and something in the concert of the universe. How do you live your life? What's the important is your life? How to praise to God. Again, that person, for someone, is nobody, showed us how to praise to God. Let's remember.
Take heed that ye do not do your alms before men to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Be not ye therefore like unto them. For your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. After this manner, therefore pray ye. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Jesus, love. No other word can describe me. No religion. No right way to follow. Just actions. Be an example. Start with yourself. If you want to change the world, change yourself. And follow the device. And try to live 1% of. He said to us to do it. And then I want to give you an Irish blessing. Not me, but may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm on your face and the rain fall softly on your fields. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hands. Thanks so much. Kiitos.